Okay, good afternoon again. This is me. Maybe if you are not feeling bored, let me share one more lecture. Now I am trying to remove a पर्दा हटाओ. You understand the meaning? पर्दा हटाने के लिए डीप लर्निंग से ये क्या है, कैसे काम करता है, इसका पर्दा हटाने जा रहा हूँ. थोड़ी छोटा deep learning is, although here I have written material science, but it can be used in any domain of any discipline. You can use in economics, you can use in medicine, you can use in biology, geology, anything. Or physics, chemistry is no exception, and mathematics is the core part of it. What is the statistics? So I always start deep learning with this DOS. The real question is, how deep is the deep? Who can answer this question? This is very deep question. How deep is the deep is a deep question. Anyone has answer of this? How deep is the deep? Now let me, I have one over here, and there is a big oil in Rajasthan, that is mostly desert part of Rajasthan. So in this bottle, if I look from here, hardly around 8 centimeter to 10 centimeter, I can see the water if I look from this way. But in this way, from here to here is the water, although we can see from the top. Which one is this? You might think this is deep. But if I put a Mariana Trench, have you heard of Mariana Trench? In geography, yeah. Mariana Trench is the deepest part of world universe. Even Mount Everest can sink. Okay? That is more deeper than this well. So deep is relative or therefore. So, there are, but we can sometimes describe in an absolute manner. Other distance is not relative. If we measure from the center of universe, although it is not known very precisely where it is, if we measure distance from center of universe, then that is absolute. Okay, time is always relative. What is my height is around 6 foot. 5 foot 10 inch is my height, but that is actually difference between my feet and the head of my top. Okay, so relative. And the same distance will come if I measure my height from the center of earth to my feet and center of earth to my head and check a difference. That is the same thing. So it is called relative. My height is also relative. Actually, in the deep learning or my understanding, if you cannot estimate that is depth, then that is deep. Okay, if you cannot estimate depth, then that is deep. Deep. But as a monkey, if cannot reach a grave, then he will say, hey, it's a bitter grave. So he will walk away from the grave. Actually, grave is may or may not be bitter, but for monkey, if he cannot reach that bunch of grapes, then he will think it's a bitter and he will walk out. Okay? So bitterness is also there for relative word. Okay? And similarly, the depth is relative. Like this one and the level of water on this one. And deep learning comes with neuron. It is a neuron, human neuron or any other animal. Also we have neuron. And computer also use neuron. Although it is quite not neuron, but they point the name neuron because it is artificial intelligence, and intelligence comes from thinking, and thinking comes from brain. So brain has a special cell called neuron. So this is one neuron, and this is a mechanism of or connection of neurons. So many neurons make our brain, and neurons are connected. Okay, with dendrites and axons. By some special proteins they are connected, and then altogether it makes a brain. Also, our spinal cord is a brain. It doesn't need brain's information to tackle. Most of the reflex actions are controlled by our body brain. Okay, brain cannot do that task. That is some different processing. And this is the mathematical brain. A computer also can think or see, visualize like humans or like any other animals that are little have some cognition. So what it does is we have some, although I am not putting any mathematics yet, but I am showing a schematic diagram of our brain. We have sensory organs, they are called inputs, and we have a brain that will process the information and it will do some task. Suppose if I see this board, I might say this side is white. Okay, our eye will see this board and my brain process that data, and then I will think this is a white. Or if I see a snake coming or tiger coming, then I will decide that I have to run away or I have to fight with the tiger. That is the output. Seeing tiger is our input and processing is the next part, and either running or fighting with tiger is the task. That is the output. Okay. This is how the machine learning, human learning works, in same way machine learning works. Now I will show you how machine learning. And even this is a little complex part. Here we have 4 input channels. This is called input channel. Okay. Although I am not giving any mapping right now, it is just a schematic. Do not think I am making complex. And we have one layer of neurons. This is called layer, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in one layer there are 6 neurons here, and each input is connected to all these 6 neurons directly. Okay, and this is one layer, and there is one more layer of thinking. And again, they are connected to all these 6. So this is called, this layer is called input, and this layer is called hidden layer, and this layer, sorry, three hidden layers are here, and this is the output. And this kind of thinking we can do ourselves also. But if I see a tiger, or not only see a tiger, suppose I step on a snake, let us say. Because stepping on a snake is two inputs. One I will see, or maybe 3. I will hear the hissing sound of snake, and I can feel the snake by my skin leg also. Okay, so that is three inputs. Although here are 4 inputs, but let us say multiple inputs are there when I step on the snake. Then immediately I will pass that information to my brain, and immediately I must think that I should run away by the snake, or I should hide with the snake, or whatever I do. I am not deciding at first. So this is the action of this thinking by these neurons. Because these neurons are trained to decide. And a small amount of time will elapse on that part. And once it cannot decide, it will pass the information to the next layer of thinking. or second hidden layer, and it will think that, and by the way, this is neuron, okay, it is just highlighted. And here also I cannot decide what to do, whether wrong, hide, or whatever I have to do with the snake. And then I will pass that information to the third layer of hidden layers of my neurons in the brain, and then it will tell me after like 3 seconds, let us say one neuron is called 1 second taking time to process, and at the third second, now I will decide binary decision. This is called binary decision, whether to fight or run away. Okay, this is our intelligence, and it will be even complex. Not only this one, it will be even complex like this. It will be even complex like this in some situations. Setting snake is binary decision. The other one, although here is also binary decision, everything. And sometimes you might have more complex situations. Although I am taking a little negative example. Suppose you fail in one subject out of 10 subjects. Okay, you fail in one subject out of 10 subjects. Then what will you do? Okay, you have so many inputs. If you fail in one subject, whether to change college, whether to change subject, whether to stay on the same class for next year, there are many possibilities will occur if you fail in one subject. Although I am very excused for taking negative example. So at first you cannot decide, you will ask your friends and they will take their suggestions. After accumulating those information, you will talk with your parents and grandparents and again my teachers and principal. So you have so many layers of information to process. You see? So this is how the intelligence works. Because you cannot decide sometimes at once. So you have to take many other inputs to decide. And finally, you decide that, okay, I will try next time. Let us say positive outcome right now. Okay, if I get in one subject, I will appear next time on the same exam and I will pass. That is your decision. Okay? So this is how our intelligence works. So we need, and the beauty of this complex thinking is that you will get a good decision later on. Take this one. Here you are consulting, you cannot decide, you talk with your parents, you talk with your friends, you didn't go to your principal or teacher. So your decision is not mature on this case, okay? But here your decision will be very mature and well planned, and you will never fail on second time. This is how the intelligence works. Now I am giving you some math to think. So this y equal to mx plus c in Nepal, but I don't know in India. It is an equation of a straight line. But the artificial intelligence community will explore this or present this equation in a different way, although meaning is same. This is actually y vector, okay, y vector, and this is the slope, and this is f vector, and this is the intercept, y intercept. So we might have this is only one, and this is your input, and weightage of that input. Suppose you get solution from your friend, and you did not take it very seriously. That means the value of W is 0.1, let us say, relatively. And if your parents say, you might think that very seriously, half seriously, W is 0.5, and out of that, you will inject your own decision. Okay? You will also inject some own decision on that value. You take a solution, and you weigh that solution, and you put your own view on that solution, and you get a conclusion. This is the philosophical equation. And mathematical equation is y equal to wx plus b, or in common mathematics or physics term it will be y equal to mx plus c. Okay, but the meaning is same. And artificial intelligence, this is the neuron, mathematics of neuron is just this. It is very logical. You get suggestion, you judge that suggestion like whether to take very seriously, little seriously, or not at all, when W is zero. If you take suggestion but do not care about that suggestion, weightage is zero. So your own suggestion is your own decision. Because this is one and Y is one. This is your own decision. Although you have taken some suggestion, because of the weight factor, you neglect the suggestion. Okay? So this is the thing, mathematics of thinking. And it is very simple. It's a tiny equation. And more complex I am showing now. You take decision from your advice from your friend, parent, grandparent, and then your own decision. And then you have different way for the solution from different people. And you came to the conclusion. Okay? So it has more air of freedom there with more input. This is how the neuron will work. Our thinking mathematics, and by the way, equation is y equal to w naught x0, w1 x1, w2 x2, and okay. The equation is little computationally advanced, but it might give you massive decision later on. And sometimes linear thing does not work. We have to go non-linear thing. This is, let us say, a rough parabola or what is called hyperbola. It doesn't look like even parabola because it might be going forever further. So it is a hyperbola. Hyperbola is obviously a non-linear equation. And sometimes solutions come, one kind of solution comes, and you might think different into that solution. You take different meaning of that solution. So that is a non-linear thinking. Suppose I told you not to do, then you might think, why he told me that not to do? Okay, I will do this. If he told not to do, then I will do. So that is a non-linear decision. Okay. And that will be a parabola, hyperbola, or some polynomial function, or a sinusoidal function, some kind of sinusoidal function. Now material science. This is the material. And this is our lifeline, concrete. These blocks are concrete blocks, and we are sitting on a concrete. We walk on concrete. Our top is made by concrete. Walls are made by concrete. So if we are surrounded by concrete, okay. Tomorrow I will present one example of concrete in deep learning. That is very interesting example. The strength, the final is the strength of concrete. All what matters is the strength of concrete. And in order to get that strength, there is no straightforward formula. Like how much water you put while mixing those cement, there is no formula. How much sand you put and you get this strength, there is no that formula. Or in a factory, cement factory, how much you put that chemical and you got this strength later on, there is no formula. All we have to do is with data. We will take the composition of cement on the factory, or if you are very serious, you can go in composition of the rock on the mine, what is brought from to the factory to make it more and more better. And then the final step is how you mix those concrete, sand, water, and what are the minerals on water is also matter for the strength of concrete later on. If there is more calcium, it might give more strength. Or if there is more acidic water, it might weaken the concrete later on. Okay. So there are many. Everyday temperature is a factor of the strength of concrete effect. So there are varieties of factors, and in a deep learning language we call them filters. And strength is called our target. Okay. So let me familiarize you about the terminology also. That is the main purpose why I am pushing you on this very hot weather and sweating and listening. Finally it will pay off. Okay. So finally is strength, and to get that strength, one component we consider is called features in the deep learning language or artificial intelligence language. Next is this. Although you may not get this seashell, quite not seashell, but kind of seashell here in Himachal, but you get in Maharashtra on the ocean side and Goa also, different beaches, or in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, beaches, the Visakhapatnam on the beach side. So this age of this shell can be found by at least most of it is given on the rings. If the number of rings are large, then it is more old shell. That is very obvious. So the factor W for the ring number is very high. But that is not the only one factor, number of rings. It depends upon the gender of this shell. Okay? And on what kind of water it is, what is the pH value of water it was surviving before it died, that also matters. And what are the other minerals dissolved on that water, that also matters. So many things are there. Okay. If we accumulate all those data and predict the age of that seashell, that age is the target and all the other components are treated. This is how we do the thing in machine learning. Now I am coming to the basic science. Crystal structure and band gap. This is a perovskite crystal, strontium titanate, or you can say barium titanate, anything. Okay. If you know the property of this atom and this atom, that's all. That's all we need to predict the lattice function of this crystal and to get the band structure of this crystal. So we take like 100 or more than 100 of this kind of crystal, give the atomic properties, and then there is at the last column is either band gap or the lattice constant. If it is perfectly cubic, you have to predict only one lattice constant. If it is non-cubic, then you have to individually predict along the x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis. That is called A, B, C. Or if it is not cubic, let us say, then you might have to predict alpha, beta, gamma if they are not 90 degrees. Okay? So this is related to the material science. Now I will go to more math part. Now time. Okay? It is very, very technical. Okay? Although I will not try to bore you by this math. This is the crane. We call it in Nepali sagar, this word, and this is a mostly found in the swamp area. They will come from all the way to Siberia in winter season because there is very cold and this bird will migrate to Nepal, India, mostly found in UP and Bihar because that is the most hot in even in winter time. Or further south, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. So these birds will come. They will fly in an array. This is array. Okay. Now more math. I am going to more math, but I will try to explain in a very layman language so that you will not be confused or later. And by affection, we call this numpy, means numerical Python. By affection. Okay. And numpy is stands for numerical Python. That's what I told earlier. And the problem of Python is that it is an interpreter language, not like C and program. You have to write a code, compile and run. That doesn't work in Python. You write just run. There is no compiling stage in Python. So that makes the code running very slowly. Okay? Python makes very slow. In order to remove that hurdle in program in Python, there is a way. First, the numpy particularly is written in C language and it will follow the C type of language intermediate so that it is easy to write and it feels like a C. So this is the more best part of the Python and it will decrease your effort to write a code so that for beginners or production stage it saves your time, not for scientific stage. Okay, it saves time only for beginners or when you go into production. You don't need to know how to do integration. Then you call this library and then do the integration. Let's see the business is this kind of mechanism will work. But in scientific and engineering, we do not like this practice. We want to do integration by our own, not by using this kind of thing. And creating array, we have to know how to create an array because on the figure I have shown you so many inputs. That inputs were our Python arrays, and all the F values also were Python arrays, and Y values are were dependable Python arrays. So we need to know how to handle those arrays, and now I exactly do the same thing. There are many varieties of things that we can do, and maybe tomorrow we can practice this, and I will give you one slide in the evening once I got email from Adhikari. I will share this slide with you and exercise also, so that while you come in the morning tomorrow, you will be more familiar with these things here. And another I like to stress is the manipulation. Manipulation is a kind of negative connotation, basically. But here we don't care that much because we are doing a math. Manipulation means we change the dimension of our matrix or dimension of our array. Like 2 by 2 matrix can be changed into 10 by 1. Okay? Or 5 by 2 also. 2 by 5 matrix can be changed into 5 by 2. That doesn't it is the number of elements are 10. This is how it works. And I will swapping rows and columns. There are varieties of ways you can practice tomorrow this thing. Sir, do you have one page, just a scratch page? I will show you the manipulation of the array by practically. Just one rough page. Yeah. I will show you. This thing can be done. I am doing a mathematical equation. Yeah, thank you. And I am very sorry to clear this page. Okay. This is a two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array. Yeah, Y. Okay. Or you will say Y. Yeah. 2D array. Do you think this can be converted into one dimension? Yes, we can do. That is called flattening the array in mathematical world or in deep learning world. Have you ever fly a kite in your childhood or in we don't need to be a kid to fly a kite. I used to do that in the time in Nepal. People fly the kite. Let me convert 2D array into 1D array. Okay. This is a great mathematical example. Converting array from 2D to 1D, and we can do that also. I will show you. Although it is little cumbersome, but that can do this. One dimension, miraculous. Okay, now clear. Yeah, thank you very much. So, two-dimensional array can be converted into one-dimensional array. In the whiteboard here, this is 5 into 2. It can be converted into 2 into 5 matrix. It can be made 5 into 2 just by transposing, and it can be made into 10 into 1 as well, or 1 into 10 as well, just by transposing. So there are varieties of way to manipulate or resizing the array. Now, if we revert back, you see now I am doing one-dimensional array back to two-dimensional array. Although I may be this pattern, but we can do it anyway. I am not spending time on it. You got that. So that is called flattening and deflattening of it. And obviously another best operation of matrix array is the transpose. That means we will swap the rows and array of the matrix. These are all called manipulations, but with positive connotation. In social, social context, when you say manipulation, it carries negative connotation. But in machine learning or artificial intelligence, it has beautifully positive connotation. Okay. So this is the one part of that. And appended. Suppose you missed one array, one element, or one row, you can add that or subtract that from the array using numpy. So this is called the appending or removing the elements or columns, rows, and rows. Now I will cover the next topic and wrapping up very quickly. We might be very tired by now. This figure, can anyone from the student side tell what is this figure? This figure can be generated using a visual power of Python that is called matplot library. Python highly English plotting library we can call and we can generate. This figure is called fractal. Fractal is very ubiquitous in nature. Ubiquitous in nature. Okay, it has a beautiful mathematical explanation and if we roam around the nature without any tension on our brain, then we can see so many fractals in everywhere in nature. Okay, so that means self-repeating. Like if you take only this part of this figure, and from this part you can again generate that whole part. Or whatever you take, you can take here, you can generate, you can take here, you can generate that part. So this is the kind of rough service if you have all that code in an ancient Sanskrit culture, in Durga Puja time or any time. Whenever you cut and if that humans they want to drop on the floor, how many blood drops, that many rough service again will be created. Okay, that is the history of rough service. So this kind of figure is kind of rough service. You can generate as many copies as we said. If you cut, it will grow on the same table. So this is the fractal. And it has fractional dimensions. Very strange. Like I told you before. One dimensional. And this mouse pad is two dimensional. And some other objects are, suppose this bottle is 3D. And we have never heard 1.5D. What is 1.5D? How it looks like? It looks like a fractal. The cloud. The best example of fractional dimension is cloud. And we can beautifully visualize those shapes. And even here, that I got this as a beautiful gift in the morning. I can see many fractals here also on this list. If I see scientifically or mathematically, we can see fractals right on this list and on these patterns also in some sense. So fractals are ubiquitous, but we have to need the eye that can decipher the shape. So this is the best example and motivational example how we can go on visualization with Python. That will extremely needed from tomorrow in our department schedule. So this is the overall big picture, how beautifully we can visualize our data. So if I do not show you a figure of tiger and talk explain like 10 pages about tiger, you still cannot imagine how tigers look like. Okay? Or even I wrote 100 pages about tiger and I did not show the photo of tiger, you can still did not understand or did not recognize when you see the real tiger in forest. But if I show you one photograph, I don't need to talk about how tigers look like. So that is the power of visualization, or power of figure. 1,000 words equal to one figure. Okay? So visualize your data is the best way to explaining your data and understanding your data. And now I will go slightly very simple case of parabola. Okay. And This is parabola only, by the way. Here it is very difficult to understand. Although my eye already understand this is parabola. Only I guide your eyes, guiding eye. You cannot say this is parabola. Okay? Although it is, because or 0 it is 0, or 1 it is 1, or 2 it is 4. Okay, so it's a parabola and same on the right side of this. And this is the simplest type of data visualization using Python library. And this is little bit different way. Here, instead of those discrete scatter points, I am using a line in the same canvas. This is y equal to sin x, by the way, very simple question. And you can do two plots also. Y equal to sin x, y1 equal to sin x, y2 equal to cos x, some sort of. So two plots can be visualized in the same plot. Now the difference is I can write a title, axis levels, this is called axis level, and this is the title. So I can improve my plotting slowly. First I was doing scatter plot, then I will signal y equal to sin x, then I plotted two functions in the same canvas, and now it is more customized function. Customized plot with axis levels and title of the plot. And this is another plot. Here I am dividing my canvas and individually plotting two functions. One is the harmonic oscillator, another is damped harmonic oscillator. Okay. And here I am splitting in a horizontal manner, and there is another way to split in a vertical way also. So we can present our data in varieties of ways. If you cannot present your data, then you cannot sell yourself. Although it sounds very weird saying sale, but you cannot convince your employer, your teacher, advisor, or mentor that you know something about that, unless you cannot explain. So best way of explaining is the visualization. Very powerful tool of explanation. And now I will go to this one, second last slide of this talk. Have you ever seen this kind of function? I will tell you the characteristics of this function. Around x is equal to 0, the function is 0.5. Below x is equal to 0, it is asymptotically 0. And above x is equal to x is above 0, it is asymptotically 1. Okay. So this function has a lot of useful in machine learning. Before I had shown you examples of when you step on the snake and what you do. Okay? So these functions will tell you that answer. Whether you run away or fight with snake. If you are here, you are running away, or let's say if you are 0.5, you will run away from the snake. If you are above 0.5, your value will be more or less 1 very quickly, then you will fight with the snake. Okay? So in terms of binary decision, whether to do or not to do, variety of social questions, social matters, mathematical physics, or any other questions are that kind of questions, whether to do or not to do. Okay? Suppose I came here from that much far, 3,000 kilometers away from my home, and what I did is I was above 0.5. My decision was above 0.5, so I am here. If I was little lazy or unhelpful to my friends or collaborators, I will be below 0.5. That means I will not be here. So there are a variety of questions in binary that can be answered in a binary way, like a yes/no question in English. Okay? So therefore this function is very useful in deep learning because most of the answers are just yes or no category. And there is one more thing. Have you heard of diode? Diode, D-I-O-D, diode. Okay? This function behaves like a diode. Rectification. If the function the f value is below 0, y value is always 0. If function is above 0, what is the x value? That is the y value. Okay? What is the x value? Suppose we have x equal to 2. More or less it is passing under 2 is here, y value of y. Or 4, let's say. Here it is around 4. Okay. Or 6, let's say. Or 8. 8 is the best one. Here is 8. Here is 8. Okay. So this some kind of problems fall on this category in society and in mathematics and physics as well, or any other math. This is called categorical classification, not binary, categorical. Suppose I have, although we have some same things here, let me show you. Now, how many objects I am displaying in my hand? 3 objects. One is LGMI table, another is a beautiful Himachal cap, and another is pen. How do you know this is LGMI table? How do we know? Because we have seen this many times as a LGMI table. And how do I know this is Himachal cap? Because I have seen it many times. And I know this is pen, I have seen this before I even know my parents. This pen, right? So this is why I can know this is a pen, even we shouldn't be black like this color. Even if it is blue color, I will say this is pen. In this case, there is no yes no question. I have to describe the category. This is the LGMI table, this is the cap, this is the pen. Or this, I have to understand before I do anything. So that is the data. That is why we have to feed it before. So learning of our learning style and learning style of computer is basically same. Let me know where the graph now. And that will happen only when you will rectify your knowledge. Okay? And what is rectify means? When you see object, you will never tell this is a cat. You will never tell this is a cat. So that you discard that option already. Whenever you see this, you will definitely say this is pen, or you don't know it or what it is if you haven't seen already. Okay, but you will never tell this is cat or this is dog. Because you totally eliminate your probability of saying this as a cat. So this function also helps us to machine learning or deep learning, at least. So these are the two functions that I told you today. One is sigmoidal, another is rectified linear. I might have rectified linear activation function. Activation function means it triggers our brain. Activation means triggering some other. Whether that is dog or cat, that is a binary classification. But if I showed you 3, or if that is dog or not dog, that is a binary classification. But if that is dog, cat, or peacock, then it is categorical. So most of our things is relying on those two kind of problems. One is binary classification, another is categorical. Okay. In categorical, we have to decide what it is. Suppose if let's see, you will say this is A, but I never wrote A like this manner in a 90-degree rotation A. Nobody writes this A as a 90-degree when you have an exam and you have to write like apple, you can write apple as a 90-degree rotation on this particular point. But still, I can recognize this is a A. So, another part of the deep learning is you have to identify that object in a different perspective before you predict anything. As a human, we can understand, but if I train my computer to understand A as a vertical A all the time, and I tilt this as a, to recognize comfortable, fail to recognize this as because it is 90 degrees rotation. Or any of the later it cannot recognize because they are the 90 degrees rotation. So on the other part, we have to manipulate our data to get the better answer. So manipulation is positive positive correlation in terms of deep learning or artificial intelligence, but in society it is a negative connotation. Okay, it has different meanings, but here those negative things are our big assets in deep learning. Without those things, we can do any deep learning or artificial intelligence and apply that back to the society. Okay, possibly I don't have any other. Okay, sorry, 5 minutes. What I'm doing now, but let's just 5 minutes. I promise I will not do more. KYC, have you heard this word? This Nepal is very famous, especially in the banking sector. What is the meaning? Know your customer. But I have not given know your customer. KYC instead of C, now I like C. What will be the meaning? Know your data. And now I will improve this. Know your data frame. Okay, here is the panda. Panda. This is the red panda. And the library which is used to read and write data frame in Python is called pandas, and that is like a strong leg of deep learning that you have to read and write your data in a data frame. So know your data frame. Okay? And how data frame looks like is like this. It's like an Excel sheet of sort of. And the red rectangle is rows, green is arrows. Basically, we know this all. But I will make it little difficult step by step. But you never, in practice, you never get your data in a row and column as a useful way. As a useful way. You want to read Excel files, you want to read code files or other types of files. JPEG files, if you want to look your video or photo in computer, that means if you see your whatever video in this style, you can understand it. Okay? But in the middle, you need data frame. Once you have your data, what you understand, it has to convert it back into the data frame that computer understands or at least panda understands, and you have to, once you manipulate that, and you have to again save that to the human readable format, like the previous. And here is a tragic example of Titanic. I always use this example in remembrance of those people who died or survived the Titanic. Okay? On the logbook of Titanic, it was on the office who enrolled that Titanic. At least these columns were there on the logbook. Passenger ID, survived or not survived, that is a binary. That is ticket class, first class, second class, third class. And if you understand this, you understand most of the machine learning. Okay? So name of the passenger, their sex, age, siblings, pass, ticket, fare, carriage, embark. This kind of information, out of this information, survive or not survive is the target and all other fact features. Let me give you one example. Name of passenger possibly has very little weight, whether that passenger is survived or not. However, their age is very high weight. If it is infant, he cannot swim, so he might have died. If it is a very old one, he also might have died because he cannot swim on the old ocean water. But if it is a strong young man, then there is a high chance of surviving. Okay? So these information has relation of the survivableness of the passenger. And in the same way, number of siblings is also has direct role on the whether he survives or not. Because if he has more kids, then he might be busy saving the kids, not himself. So he might have died while saving the kids. If he is alone, he might have higher chance of surviving. Okay, so there is a relation between the features. But his ticket number may not have any relation with survival rate. Similarly, name and ticket class might have chances because the particular in a train, suppose there is third class and second class, Pursian, I have seen that second year AC, first year AC, okay, and some are fine and there are so many types of boxes in a train, and if that train is exceeded, although that is negative offer, and there is chance of the distance of those cars might be different depending upon the classes, or comfortability of the passengers might be different because let's say, for example, the passengers on the first class of the train might be more luxurious and they might be physically not strong, and the chance of fatality will be higher in first class car than in the third class car because those are physically strong and other factors. They might know how to jump out of the train in case of danger. You see, the relation is there actually. Okay. And in these columns can be assembled in a data frame. Okay, that is what I want to take this example. And get this honoring those great souls who sacrificed on the that is trading on the ocean trading and manipulating data. Now again manipulation comes here. Okay. But I already promised you that it is a positive connotation. What I am doing here is selecting a specific role. Now just before we show the different column headers of those data and passenger's name is not relevant to the survivor name and not the ticket number. So I have to remove those data from the data frame. Suppose this is the ticket ID, those things, and I only importing as this yellow column, so I am collecting only those yellow columns. This is one type of row and column manipulation. And some rows are particularly important for machine learning, and some rows are not. So age group, if I have the age group, then I will select. I then consider that 0 to 10 months, 1 year, kids might have died in the tragic accident. So I don't need to include that in the data at all. Or over 90 years old or 100 years old, it is very chance of surviving. So I can remove that data also. Okay. So if I have 8 years, so I can keep only like 2 years to 99 years old in this column. Sorry, in this row. So I will grab only those rows for my training. And other way is also selecting specific rows and columns. That means I am applying two filters. There is a case in that case. So with two filters, I am more picky in this sense. So that my result prediction will be far better than the without filters. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So very thank you, Mr. Sajri, because you are listening with a great passion and curiosity.